So in this movement, we're looking at a diagonal stretch hand switches, okay? So just a progression and advancement on from what would be the regular diagonal stretch. Probably seeing this after. In this movement, what we're trying to do is really just add an element of sort of balance to it, or working on our balance in this position and learning how to sort of move the trunk along with feeling that opening sensation near what would be the hip and the knee, that kind of forward stretch that we're getting, or that anterior stretch that we're getting, okay? So similar to what would be the normal diagonal stretch setup, we've talked about this idea of kind of turning the foot out, keeping the knee locked. And as we lean back, we can sort of see to a certain degree, we're getting a lot more of a stretch into the adductors. I take that step back on a very similar line. You can see here, I'm not sort of like out to the side massively. I am kind of on that same line of the heel. If I normally go back, it's usually the opposite side. So if my left foot is behind me, it's my right hand that goes back to sort of touch either the calf as sort of like a starting point if I want sort of early access to a movement like this, and then working hopefully ideally towards touching the heel in time, okay? If I go back to this angle, you can see then, so I've got my setup just as we sort of described there. I've got that opening sensation coming from the front side of the left hip, feeling all the way from the knee, through the hip, through the anterior side of the core. The idea from here then is to switch, to slowly rotate, keep the exact same position with the sort of lower half of my body, but then rotate arms to the sky as I switch between the two, okay? So very easy in terms of what we're thinking about doing with this movement, but you're gonna see an element of your breathing is going to be challenged, where you're holding tension, where you're trying to release tension from as well. You're gonna find a lot of stuff to do with balance as well will sort of add to this movement too. So a really great way of advancing the diagonal stretch and just adding an element of difficulty to it, okay? So questions on that one, be sure to leave them below. If you like the video, be sure to like it, share it to anyone if you find it's gonna be useful. And if you wanna see more videos like this in the future, be sure to subscribe to the page, and I'll see you soon.